So I get to hear this so many times, like I'm working so much on my mindset, I'm working so much on my vibe, I am journaling, I am visualizing, I'm doing all the stuff, I am meditating, I'm levitating, I'm burning, I'm saging the house and around in the garden, all the neighbors, and then I'm feeling fantastic and great, and I'm floating, and I feel like, you know, everything is opening up, and then I have this conversation, or I read this piece of news, or I speak with my partner and he just pours on me his vibes, or I'm speaking with my mother and she once again disapproves or criticizes me, so on so forth. You get the vibe. So what do we do then? What do we do then when we feel like we are doing our part, we are doing our work, we are doing the inner work, we are into it, and we are starting to see the results, and then there is a downer in our life that is just like destroying everything that we created. This is what I will be helping you shift today, because it's such an important part of, you know, self-awareness, and actually it will give us so much freedom to grow no matter what, no matter the circumstances, no matter what the partner says, no matter what the mother is believing, no matter the approval or the thoughts or the vibes around us. So here's the big distortion. Hey Karen, oh, so happy to see you, lovely. Here's the big distortion that is happening when we believe that because of other people, because of circumstances, because of what is happening around us, we are being affected. Our growth is being affected. Our business is being affected. The biggest distortion that we are buying into is the fact that unless others are high vibe, unless others are approving of ourselves, unless others are doing for ourselves the different things, we can't grow. And by believing into this distortion, actually what we are buying into is the fact that we need others to do for us what we are not willing to do for ourselves, which is keep the high vibe. Work with a desire, go and wire the emotions and states that we do want and are calling in our lives. We are asking other people to do for us what we are not willing to do for ourselves, no matter what. We are doing it when everything is fine. We are doing it when it's quiet in the house. We are doing it when there is no argument with the partner. We are doing it when we are not in the presence of the mother or the friends or whoever is not approving fully of ourselves. We are doing it, but then when something is going wrong, when things are not just fine around us, we collapse inside. So we are not willing to go past that. We are not willing to do the work no matter what is happening around us, but we are asking others to do that for us. Like, be more high vibe, be more positive, think, more abundantly, approve of myself and all my desires, hold me and support me. We are asking all this from everyone and their dogs, but we are not willing to do this for ourselves no matter what. We are willing to do it, and we are doing it as long as everything is fine around. As long as we are saying the house is quiet, the kid is not screaming, the husband is loving and supporting, the parents are approving of everything that we are doing, and the economies are booming and flourishing, and the government is just a flower. So this is one big thing that it's so important to realize and to own. We need to go first. We need to go first and do for ourselves what we are asking others to do for ourselves, because that is radical self-responsibility. Being able, not only able, but also willing to do the inner work, to do the rewiring, to do the shifting, to do the pivoting as many times as needed, no matter what. No matter if we had an argument, no matter if he's not thinking the way I'm thinking, no matter if she's not seeing what I'm seeing, no matter if our desires do not really coincide, no matter if the economy is being challenged, no matter if we are stuck in our houses and we cannot go out, no matter what, that is self-responsibility. And the second thing that is really, really important to remember is the fact that the strongest energy always drives, is always leading. The strongest energy is always leading, always prevails. Let me unpack this for you to see the point here in this conversation. There are two levels that I would like you to understand this expression on. Level number one, we are the strongest, biggest energy in our lives. You are the strongest, biggest energy in your life. You heard me saying this many times. There is nobody and nothing in your life that is more powerful than you are. This is the first thing. The second level of understanding this is the fact that the more powerful a feeling is, the more powerful, the stronger a feeling is in our field is going to determine our attraction point. Which means if we choose consciously to go back to a certain feeling, to go back to a certain vibration, to go back to a certain state, no matter what, then that is what is going to drive our attraction point, no matter what is happening around. And even more so, it will be driving our life because we are the biggest, strongest energy in our life. So which means that the biggest, strongest thing that we are feeling and holding and nurturing inside of us, that is what is going to prevail in our lives and in our realities, in what is happening, with our journey. Even if economies are collapsing around us, even if we don't have the most happy, complete relationship, even if our parents don't really approve of us, even if we have a tough, difficult relationship with our mother, even if we get to be the strongest energy in our world, and our energy, the strongest energy in our world, will be the strongest emotion, the strongest state, the strongest vibration that we are holding, nurturing, and holding on to in our inner world. And that is not only important, that is actually everything. Oh gosh, such a good point. This is so true. Whatever is strongest takes over. Strongest takes over. And this also means, because we are here and speaking about this, here's another thing for which the strongest energy always prevails is so relevant for this conversation. I see so many people, and honestly, I think that this is our default tendency, to try to convince other people of our point. Like, he's not getting it. Let me explain to him. Let me convince him. Or I'm having this, fight or struggle or whatever with my mother or with my friends or with whoever I am, and I'm trying to convince them. I want to make them see. I want to make them see what I'm seeing. I cannot understand why they are not seeing what I'm seeing, in order so that we can all see the same thing. So we are trying basically to push people into tuning into what we are tuning into. And that is not working. That is not working. What is working is the strongest energy that always prevails, which means that if we are staying in a strong energy of belief, of desire, of knowing, of deciding, of vibing up, of owning where we are going, of holding the beliefs that are actually serving us, if we are staying and embodying and starting to beam that out, guess what happens? our world calibrates to us. Our reality gets aligned to us, and also the people around us. Now, hear me out. There will be people that we will fall out of our lives because they cannot calibrate to where we are going and who we are becoming and the vibration that we are now holding in our lives. There will be relationships that will just naturally be ending. And that is normal. That is okay, because we cannot keep ourselves small and frustrated, because whenever we are not aligned with what our souls desires are, we get into a inner resentment and frustration. So we cannot keep ourselves stuck into a box because of holding on to relationships that are keeping us small. But at the same time, the relationships that are meant to evolve will be evolving with us, and the strong energy that we are holding that now is really, really powerful will help the world around us calibrate to this energy. And there are numerous stories of my clients and students in different programs telling me how their personal relationships change, how their relationship with their parents, how their relationship with their partners completely change without them having any conversation. Like when all the conversations before trying to convince about the truth that looks so obvious to us failed before, now the same people in the same relationship started behaving differently because they started calibrated to the human being that we've become. They started calibrating to a new way of being, to a new vibration, and that radically changed the way they vibrate, see, react, experience their own realities also. This is happening and is real, because once again, the strongest energy prevails. So here are the shifts that I would like you to stay with and take away from this call. The first one is have radical self-responsibility. So do not ask others to do for you what you are not willing to do for yourself, no matter what. This is the one of the most important, if not the essential shift. The second shift is have healthy boundaries. I mean, there are people who are really important in our lives that we really care about, but they don't see the same as we are seeing, for instance, money and abundance, or the idea of having an online business, or whatever it is. We cannot agree on some points that for us are so true and are part of who we are becoming, who we are already being, but still these people are so important to us. So healthy boundaries means you are not seeking approval or support from where it's impossible for you to get it. If money is a triggering conversation with a partner, then don't talk about money. If your online business growth and where you are going and how much you are investing and whatever you are doing in your business and life are things that are triggering points, topics in your conversation with your parents, don't talk about that. Talk about something else. Just, choose to do life with them without having to drag them in your business and squeeze them to give you something that they cannot. So these are healthy boundaries. Then it's also important that the third shift to focus always on your inner work. Like whenever you feel that something is not like really aligned around you, it's not just fine, it's not supportive enough. Remember, the key is the inner work. So it's your work to work with the doubts. It's your work to pivot into positivity. It's your work to shift your stories. It's your work to take part in high vibe conversations. It's your work to I don't know, find mentors to calibrate to. It's your work to surround yourself with positive people that are getting you and are understanding where you are going and are sharing the same interests, the same dreams, the same desires, the same kind of vibes. It's your work and your responsibility. You don't have to wait or squeeze someone into giving you something that they cannot. It's your work. It's your responsibility to go out and find that for yourself, and first and foremost do the shifting continuously inside yourself. The inner work in the end is to work so much with the energy of your desire, feeling it, bringing it into your body, aligning with it until the energy of your desire supersedes the energy of your doubt. It becomes the energy of doubt, the energy of shrinking, the energy of contraction, all that, terrible voices that are at the back of my mind. I don't know if I have voices. Probably someone has, or just one voice. So it's about working with the inner environment and the inner narrative, and finding supporting systems, supporting conversations, supporting containers, supporting members to do business and mindset work with, and to calibrate to understanding that then you can do your life with your partner. You can, go and travel and see the world, have wonderful experiences, go and laugh, have drinks, go to dinner. You don't need their approval of the people in your life in order for you to calibrate to more. You can find the people and the mentors and the containers to calibrate yourself to, without expecting or asking or claiming the support from the places where it doesn't come from. That is energetic responsibility, it's energetic boundaries. And one more thing that I can tell you here from my experience, what I've been noticing that is really, really working is to create like an energetic screening between me and the people that are still important in my life. I will not turn the back on, but we just don't see the same things on different levels or in different areas or aspects. Energetic screening for me means I can still hear what you are saying, but I'm not listening, which means I hear the voice, I hear the words, and I'm not allowing these words to be taken in. It's like an energetic screening, and the words are just bouncing off my energetic screening, because I understand that you are speaking, I'm speaking about the person that we are not aligned with regarding different aspects of business, mindset, and life. We understand that their way of speaking is based on an experience of not actually having what we desire. So when we are listening to words, to narratives of people who are just speaking based on an experience of not having what we desire, we can just hear without taking in, activating that energetic screen and allowing the words, allowing the energy to just bounce off, while we are choosing to calibrate to someone else that actually has and is living what are the levels that we want to have and we want to create in our businesses and lives. Guys, does this make sense? I saw here a comment from Janet. Mike, one of the previous coaches, says highest energy wins. I believe it's totally true. Yeah, so it's another way of saying the same. The strongest energy wins. The strongest energy prevails. It is that simple, and we are the strongest energy in our lives, and we get to choose what is the strongest energy in our energy field. And the strongest energy in our energy field is actually the one that we practice the most. That is the one that becomes our resident frequency, our dominant frequency, and that determines our attraction point. So our work, knowing all this, is just working with our resident frequency and rewiring and going back and pivoting and shifting from the doubt into our desires and into our beliefs, and then later into the knowing, and just being then grounded and steady into that energetic alignment, and then seeing how the world calibrates to that, how our reality catches up, how everything starts lining up as a result of the energy that we are beaming out, the frequency that we are beaming out. I like the awareness of a resident frequency, exactly. So we get to always check in and see, what is my resident frequency? Like, how am I feeling? How have I been feeling? And how do I want to shift that or elevate or expand that? And we get to work with that. I like how you focus on soul too consistently. I'm increasing my connection of purpose to my soul and my own source point. It is helping so much. It is truly a great life today. I'm so happy for all this feedback, and I'm happy that you are really feeling into what I'm sharing with you, because it's really, really powerful stuff once we allow it to sink in and we start working with that. It's such a freeing feeling to understand that, you know what, even if my partner is down today, or has been for the whole week, or for the whole year for that matter, even if I don't have their approval, and even if the circumstances around are not the best ones, it doesn't really matter. It has no relevance, because I choose to be stronger than that. I choose to know that I'm stronger than that, and also I'm choosing to feel into what I want to become my dominant frequency, what I want to be my dominant state and my attraction point. And I'm so committed to working on that, no matter what, not as long as, but no matter what is happening around, no matter the conversations, no matter the relationships, no matter the noise in the house, no matter the kid that is crying, no matter what. This is the vibe.